Yeah, let's go live, baby. We live right now, baby. Uh, I know we just messing around, Bob. We going live right now, but let us get our music going too, man. I know we popped in on our listeners so quick,
Let's
you
go
know,
with the music, man. Let
and
me
we
hear the
gotta we
music.
gotta get the music in there, man. So y'all hold tight with us. Here we go.
Concrete.
Here we go.
Work from all.
Hold on. Marcus, you don't take your butt outside and drill that ball in the
Concrete. Welcome to All Ball. Format unique, all access for all y'all. What the spill like? Back full of elite athletes that wanna teach and it speaks to the streets, so it feel right. Marcus Liberty, a legend on and off the coat to give you what you need. Robert Reed is your co-host. Go. Yeah. Like and subscribe and follow like a crossover. Never know what might fall through this bitch tomorrow. So, All Ball Chicago. All Ball Chicago. All Ball Chicago. All I know is All Ball Chicago. All Ball Chicago. All Ball Chicago. All Ball Chicago. All I know is All Ball Chicago.
Welcome to another edition of All Ball Chicago. I'm your co-host, Robert Bobby Reed, and I got the legend, the NBA veteran, the McDonald All-American, your host, Marcus, living in the building. What's up, Marcus?
What's up, my beautiful people?
Oh, man, I'll be looking forward to doing that every Wednesday. I remember I used to butcher it up in the beginning, though. I was like,
Man, everything as you do more of it gets better. You know that, man.
That's a fact. That's a
You
fact.
know, you actually sounding professional now.
You say I gotta get some shirts on with what's up, Marcus on there?
Yeah, man. What's up, Marcus? You got your shorty saying it around the crib. Yeah, man. But
You say Javon say that to you, huh? When he calls
Javon
up
said it to Javon. What's up, Marcus?
I don't know where that came from. We just got to play with it, but boy, I tell you, it's been fun. I look back, man. We had a lot of shows there, man. We don't really look back, but I had a chance to look back the other day. I was just digging through all the stuff, man. And man, when you look at Terry Porter, Kendrick Nunn,
man,
Tim Hardaway,
Sonny Parker, Jabari Parker. We had some. Yeah, we had some great guests. Ronnie Lester.
Oh man.
Go.
Yeah.
Call Go Ghosted. I mean,
is there anybody that we haven't had that we need to get though? Cause
man, probably so. I mean,
y'all drop some names, man. Juwan Howard.
As always, I think we should shoot for Antoine Walker. We should try to get Antoine Walker on the show too, and just chop it up with him. I mean, we put Ronnie Fields. We had Ronnie Fields, the great Ronnie Fields on the show. We had the King Jaguar squad. We had the Simeon squad.
Paul McPherson.
We had the Westinghouse crew on. So we had some guys.
Dorothy Gators,
the legend. Yeah, so man, let's talk about these playoffs, man. Let's talk about these playoffs.
There you go, Rah. Rah, you be watching the show, bro. You be calling it. Hey, Marcus, your Denver Nuggets look great. They deep. Might have the best player in the world, Jokic, but I think Suns win the next game. KD and Book are a problem, ain't they?
Hey, man, that's a fact. The last two, like that last line, KD and Book, but man, it's that game before this game yesterday that they had when Booker, man, he was not missing. Like his 3-point shot was on fire. You could tell him he was in good rhythm and all that, man. But I think they're in trouble though. I don't think they can beat Denver. I really don't think they can beat them. I think this is Denver's year, man. Remember I told you a lot of people was not talking about Denver, and I think this is their year, man, to win it.
Well, you picked them in the beginning. You definitely did that, and I picked the Lakers in the beginning. Right. And both of them are looking really good right now. What's going to happen with Steph Curry and them? Because we know Steph and them always make great adjustments. Are they going to make it out of this one, man, alive?
Who is that?
Steph Curry, Golden State versus the Lakers. Are they going to make it out of this series?
It's all up to me. To me, it's all up to the bench play, right? What you saw what the Lakers did. The Lakers was playing kind of, iffy, and then they brought the bench in. My man Lonnie came in and kind of lit them up. Right. So Jordan Poole has to do the same thing. Jordan Poole has to do the same thing for Golden State to have an opportunity. Right now, he's shooting blanks. He's shooting blanks. He's not making it. And is it because he got the big contract now that he can relax a little bit, or is something else going on that we don't know?
I think it's some dissension.
Right.
Especially now that Wiggins is back. Those are some of those minutes, know. And Wiggins, Jordan Poole, man, let's be honest, man. This guy's a stud. The kid's a stud.
Right.
And we know he can play. So you've played basketball on that level, and you know how it can play with your mind, Liv. Right? So we know that. We know he can play. So it's something there that's going on mentally, man, that's not working out for that kid right now. Hopefully he get it together this game tonight, man. I believe that he will. And I think Golden State's going to make a concerted effort to get him involved early, because that's what the Lakers did with their young talent. So you have to be able to have those young legs to get them to the next level. But the Lakers is looking like too much for them, though.
Right. Well, we'd have to wait and see, right, what happens with that. But in the meantime, what's going on in that East? What's going on in the Eastern Conference? Is it Miami coming out of the East?
Miami, man, they looking really good, man. But I don't think if Miami, because Boston is out of there. Anytime you lose at the crib, you out of there. So Boston's out of there. I don't think Miami want to see them beating hard. They don't want to see them two boys right there, man.
Man, let me tell you something, boy. I think watching Jimmy Buckets do his thing, I don't think nobody can mess with Miami in the East. Think about that, man. They got two over there in Boston. They got two stars. It's just Jimmy Buckets to me,
Right.
And he's showing you why, coming from where he came from, right? Foster parents, everybody telling him how, he's not going to never become nothing. Why you even thinking, about playing basketball? His story is very interesting, man, that all of the naysayers that said he couldn't do it, he wanted to prove everybody wrong, that he belonged. But he said it out of his mouth that he wasn't thinking about the NBA for sure. He just wanted to go to college, get out of his neighborhood. And then when he felt that he was pretty good, he started thinking more and more about, man, I might have a shot. And we know the rest is history, man, that every time he gets on that court, man, he said, I give it my all. Because I know he knows deep down inside, this can be taken away from me just like that.
Right.
So he said, man, go ahead.
And it's a game, man.
It is.
It is. And I think sometimes people put too much pressure on these guys because they're professional athletes, And but I really believe that this is Philly's turn to come out of that East. I think that they paid their dues. I think by Embiid being the MVP, that says a lot. And then Harden is playing his best basketball right now. And then they got young Maxey over there. That team is looking like a title run team. And I'm going to tell you like this. If I got to go with smart money in the NBA right now, it would be more lucrative for it to be Philly and Denver in the finals. Jokic against Embiid? Man, come on, man.
That would be.
Come on. Everybody want to see that. The MVP from last year, the MVP from this year is Central Casting, man.
That would be the clash. That would be the clash of the Titans right there, man. Two big guys going at it, man. And both of them got similar games, but I think Joker got a little bit more in his bag because he's a great passer. Right? He's a great passer. But yeah, I would love to see that matchup. You know, some of our listeners say it will be Lakers and Philly. Would be epic.
That's classic. You know, those franchises has always been headliners.
We got one of our listeners, a guy by the name of Marcus Williams. I think he may be doing some drinking at his job because he's up there talking about he can make it to the league right now and dunk on everyone. Oh man, Marcus Williams. He lives here in Sarasota. He's a manager at one of the restaurants I go to, man. So he tunes in and listens to it. So shout out to everybody over at Broken Egg, man, the restaurant, the breakfast spot that I go to. Yeah,
hey, put some of them comments and questions up. Pop them up. Just pop them up. People's comments, whatever they saying. We appreciate y'all chiming in. It turns into a bench game. Ed to Miami. Yeah, man. I mean, I don't know. Miami, one thing you know about it, they're going to play you for 48 minutes. And they're going to play you all the way until you walk to the locker room. So you're going to be tired for yourself. Dorisberg says Jaylen Brown has closed the gap with Jason Tatum. Y'all agree? I agree. And I'm going to tell you, I was just telling my son this, Colin, yesterday. I said, Colin, I don't like the fact that they make it seem like Tatum's so much colder than Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown a dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, why I gotta defer to this dude like he ain't no colder than me? That was my mentality. I'm glad she said that. What'd you say, Lid?
No, I like both of them, right? You know, you can't go wrong with either one of them, right? But
I was an orange.
You gotta do, but we have to think about this, right? You know, and I think Jason Tatum is that guy. He don't mind giving the ball to Jaylen and saying, you know what, if I get double teamed, what have you, I'm not going to shoot the jump shot. I'm going to make sure I pass it to you, which is the next person up, right, to take that shot. And he's been doing it. It's just I don't think the coach, and I'm just going to say this, I don't think the coach has the locker room.
Right.
I don't think I think the coach that was there before, he had that locker room. He had their attention. Yeah. And I don't know if it's because this guy may be a little younger. I don't know. But you can see it. You can see it.
He don't have the locker room. And I agree with you 1,000%, man. I said that. Remember, we were just on the phone talking about it, saying, I think he needs to go. And you said they just re-upped him.
Right. Well, yeah, because he had the – remember, he had the interim.
He don't have that big enough voice, man. I just think that you can see it all over that Boston team. What do y'all think about Draymond Green doing a podcast during the playoffs and always overly praising LeBron James? Is his focus on beating the Lakers? Isaiah Thomas last year got on Green for focusing on the podcast and not the Celtics. You know what? Draymond Green is entitled to do exactly what he want to do, man. At this time and age, man, these guys need to get that stuff off their chest, man, and they just go out there and just, you know, I can't say that he shouldn't. What do you say, Marcus?
Man, I think Draymond Green is doing what he's supposed to. He's like, man, I'm going over there to play with LeBron and him next year. You know, so that's why he's talking like that. You know, like, man, every time you turn around, you heard a story about him missing some games with the Warriors so he could go and make sure he was there when LeBron broke the record. You know, and I mean, he probably wore out his welcome at with the Warriors, man. Sometimes you can even see that, man, the way things are turning out on the court with Boston. I mean, with the Golden State Warriors when he's out there on the court. I mean, they do some kind of dumb things, man, out there on the court. And you look at it.
You think he checked out? He checked out once Poole got that money. And
I think he feels some kind of way. I think
hell yeah, you're gonna feel some kind of way, man. You didn't pour your blood, sweat, and tears into an organization, and then they give this young guy more money than you, man. You're gonna feel a certain kind of way. It's not personal, it's business, right?
But he's gonna be a value. He's gonna be a value to anybody's team, you know. Like he's gonna bring that because you know he's gonna get defense out of him. You know he's gonna make the right plays, passing the ball and all that. But I just think, man, when you have a team like the Golden State Warriors who relies on a lot of 3-point shooting, it's going to be hard to win games. You know, like the Lakers have some shooters, but they also have some playmakers, some guys that can get you a bucket when you needed a bucket. And I think Golden State Warriors just don't have that right now. I thought Poole was going to be that guy, but sometimes he's just OC. He's out of control out there.
Markel Clifton say Boston coach has no clue, wasn't ready at all. Yeah, man. I just think that in order to be able to take a team to that level, you have to have been there. And I think that's what makes Spoelstra so good with coaching talent. He knows exactly what he's getting out of his guys.
Right.
How would you like to have Green and Dylan Brooks on the same team? That's trouble. That's trouble.
That's trouble right there.
But a championship type of team thinking mentally would go get both of them. Absolutely.
Right.
Draymond Green worked for Clutch Sports. He's turning the ball over, I think, on purpose. It's sickening to me how he licking Brian butt. But I think Poole will be on the trading blocks. Yeah, you're right. I agree.
Yeah, I can see a lot of movement this summer, man. I can see a lot of pieces moving, man. And mark my word, and the ATL, you can bet they looking to move trade Ice Tray. You can bet. I can see that happening, man.
Right.
They making that move with him too as well. We got to see what Lily Pad gonna do. You know, is he gonna stick around at Portland? You know, what he gonna do?
Hey, Shot Jones said Klay Thompson's inability to create off the dribble has been exposed. Yeah, that's Shot Jones. So that I can see the name just coming up as used on the platform. So I see the names.
Right. But you know why? Because they don't give us the rights to use their names on Facebook when we go live.
Okay.
So they have to do that. But as long as you can see them, you know, I'll post them. You know. So who is that from?
Shy Jones.
Shy Jones, my man.
Yeah, you know, I think that, like you said, those 3-point shots has ran its course.
Yeah, but if you think about it, if your handles are not tight, see, one thing I could say about Steph, his handles are tight. So even if you take that away, he still can create and get to the basket. Klay can't do that. No. Klay gonna give you a 1 dribble, 2 dribble pull up after that, but he ain't going to the basket. So teams seeing that, so they's like, if we D up, make him do that 1-2 dribble pull up, we still right there with him because he's not explosive, you know, of getting by us. So I see teams doing that to him, you know.
And I remember Klay used to be getting to the rack. Remember? Yeah, he was dunking on people and everything, but I guess, you know, with all those surgeries and all that stuff, man,
father
you know,
time,
we gotta
brother.
take it. That's all. We got to take into consideration, man. Those boys have had a 10-year run. Man. They really own their era, if you ask me. You know, what they got, 4 titles, right? In 10 years.
Right.
That's good. That's dynasty. They a dynasty, man.
Right.
Them damn Golden State Warriors is a damn dynasty. Yeah, so that's who. So the only problem with Klay Thompson just taking tough shots. He just take his time. He the old Klay. He the Klay of old. Because think about it, in the playoffs, other than a few games, he played well. You're absolutely right, Janelle. You're right. Klay been solid. We can't just put it on Klay Thompson, man. Like I said, it's a plethora of things that's happening here. Like, okay, let's talk about when they was up by 1 that last game. Steph Curry shot 2 60-footers. He had AD on the island. Liv, I respect you with the utmost, and you're a tall guy. You 6'8", and I know you're a great defender, but I'm a 6'2" guy. I could pretty much, if I know what I'm doing, I should be able to get around a 6'8" guy, right? And at least get my shot off. He settled. Because if you think about it, Steph, all he needed is this to get it. He had AD at the top of the key on the island. He was biting it too. Yeah. But, you know, he settled and shot a 60-footer. So I think those little I think Golden State lost in those little intricate pieces of the game right there.
Right. No, I agree with you.
What we get, chemistry and experience is what gets you rings. And whatever team has these ingredients going to make it to the final. Alex Diggs, who was that though? I see Denver. Who you got on your screen.
Denver got good chemistry, man. And they have a good coach too. That
right.
He's not putting up with that. You saw him when he called a timeout, man. They was making that run. Phoenix made that run back again into that lead they had. Man, he chewed them boys out on that sideline.
Yeah.
And I think you need a coach like that to put his foot down and let him know, man, we gotta do something.
Y'all letting up. Yeah. Y'all out here letting up.
Yeah, but I'm with a lot of our listeners, man, about the 3-point shot, man. It is getting sickening, right? That we see so many guys, so many teams just shooting threes. And it's not just Steph and Clay, man. It's people that you wouldn't even think would shoot threes is out there shooting threes, And I'm like, man, come on, man. Know your game.
Yeah, it's terrible, man. It's gotten to be terrible. And the sad part about it is that it ain't going nowhere fast because it's trickled down to the kids' game and everything. Because you play, you coach, you're around it. Everybody want to jack up threes, don't they?
Yeah.
It just trickled down even to the kids' game. I referee. Even in the men's league, everybody shooting threes. Everybody.
Wow. Yeah, I have a travel ball. I have a travel ball team here, and I have a small team. And this one kid that can shoot. I mean, he got nice form and all that. But I try to tell him, don't get caught up in just shooting threes. Do other things. Work on other parts of your game. Be a complete basketball player. And that's what we're not seeing. We're not seeing players be that complete ball player. And that's what I think hurts a lot of people because you're in the gym just constantly working on threes, shooting threes. And I think when you don't work on other parts of your game, it ends up hurting you in the long run. In games like this, when people are actually trying to win a national or trying to win an NBA championship, and they got the scouting report down to a T that this kid is shooting threes, so let's make him do something else that he's not comfortable with.
So. That's true. And we're seeing the evolution in it. It's getting back to a bruisers type of game now, where you're seeing the whole totality of the team when you're watching Denver. They beating you in a wide arrangement and assortment of ways,
Right.
And it's basketball is evolution. It's always going to be one style for a minute, and then it's going to switch up. We had the fast break Lakers, Can't even do a layup.
Now you have to go back to our page to see who that was. But yeah, okay. It's not only that, man. It's like the mid range. Why take the mid range game out of play? That's what irks me because I heard one of the playoff games that the guy had a layup. He was right there and he kicked it out. Well, not kicked it out because I know some of our listeners might not understand what I'm saying, but passed it out to somebody on a 3-point line when he had the layup. That to me.
I seen Embiid do it yesterday. Embiid had the ball in the paint at the dotted, and he passed it out to Harden, and then ran out there and shot a three.
That doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense, man. Here goes
trying to hit some on. Jordan Poole, let me ask y'all. Last year, he caught people off guard in the playoffs and was a third splash brother. But can it be teams that's figured him out now? Then he can't defend, so Kirk got to take him out if he missing because he got to win games. But then, either he got the bag or hasn't worked as hard. But then you say in the regular season he balled out. But I don't think the punch has nothing to do with his struggles. But isn't it a rumor he spent $500,000 on Rapper Spice? But I think Poole, I can't see the rest of it.
Right.
Man, I don't know what he did on this date. I don't know.
Well, it's hard to really say what a player may be going through, but we do know he's out of control most of the time. Now, when he's cooking, I mean, he can let the ball fly from pretty much anywhere and it might go in. But when he's not and he starts to force in the issue, I think that's when he gets in trouble, right? Sometimes, as a former player and as a coach, you have to let the game come to you. And I think every time he gets out there, he's trying to force the issue. And I think that hurts him a lot.
You're right. I agree too. But I think that what happens is, in his defense, because Golden State played with such a fanatic pace, it forces you to play like that. It forces you read and react, make moves. Kerr is not telling anybody to not shoot the ball, and I think he get caught up in it and don't know when to not shoot the damn ball.
Man, but I think that's who he is. I don't think that's just a system. I think that's just who he is, right? He just want to hoop. And when you out there just hooping and not really thinking the game all the way through of what's going to happen in certain situations, it can put you in a bad predicament, right? To just, you might have two guys on you, but you still going to shoot it. No, you supposed to pass it to the open guy. You got two on you, that means somebody's open. Mm-hmm. And I think he'll end up shooting it. He's like, man, right. I'm putting this up, So
let me ask you this. Do they have a certain amount of shots that they need to take when they have those contracts? Are there incentives involved? They need to do a certain level of something to be able to get this money?
No, the things that's in the contracts are like the all-star games, making that, MVPs of the league, all defensive team, all NBA teams. I don't think shooting is in the contract, of right. people. And if it is, man, shame on them, because that's going to make kids or guys want to shoot more. I don't think, Bob, that would be the case, in a contract. But you do have incentives of other things like making an all-star team, all defensive team, and all rookie teams and all that, and get extra money doing it that way. But I don't think it may be leading the league in scoring. I don't know, but right. Could be.
Yeah, because I think that's what lead to a lot of that aggression too, because he got to get his numbers,
Right.
So yeah, enough about Jordan Poole.
You sure? Because somebody just said Jordan Poole's parents are from Chicago on the South Side.
Yeah, I know, man. And his son and his dad went to Simeon. Do I gotta tell y'all that? They say he was there when I was there. I don't know. I was on my way out. The youngins probably watching this and said, "Y'all some old heads talking bad about the new game." Yeah, man. You know what? I love the new game, man. I'm all about it, man. I wish I played in this era, man. I had that type of shit. Like, really, though, my game would have flourished in this type of game because you can do whatever you want to do. They encourage creativity. Back when I was growing up, they didn't. This is the most beautiful game ever. You can come down and shoot a three on the fast break, Marcus. Come on, man.
I'm not taking anything away. Only thing I'm saying is, if you can't shoot them and make them, why take them?
Right. I agree.
So if you ain't put the time in the lab and tried to master that, and I always put that word master out there, man, because that means you're really, really good at it, right? If you average and shooting threes, you shouldn't be doing it. You shouldn't be doing it. That's just my take. It's kind of like what Kobe Bryant said in one of his interviews. Like, I see what my teammates are doing, and I know what I'm doing. I'm in the gym putting that work in after practice, before practice, and doing it, but I don't see my teammates doing that. So why should I trust it?
Right.
When it comes down to it,
Right.
So that's just me.
And people didn't understand it when he said that, but now when you look at it, it's like, you're right. Man, I can't throw you damn ball. You ain't been in the gym, bro.
Right.
Yeah, man. Basketball is such a game of repetition, and the person who uses the knife the most will be the sharpest. But Team Clees and Isaiah Ryder should be reached out to again. Shout out to y'all. Recent interviews with Scott Williams, Vernon Maxwell, Ricky Green. Y'all doing it big. Man, High Baller Scoop, man, thank you, man. I tell you what, man, I'm just glad to be a part of it, especially with Marcus. to be honest with y'all, man, Marcus knows every damn body from the 90s, man. He know them all from the 80s, man. Everybody know Marcus. and that's what makes this show go, man. His relationship that he's built over his career to be able to let us continue to drive this show. And that's the facts.
Yeah, appreciate that, man. No doubt.
Man, Tatum is a great player. He is just a pretty boy like Reggie Theus.
Wow.
He always has the perfect haircut. I miss who said
Some people just like to take care of themselves, man. But you're right, man. I ain't never seen that guy, man, not tight, It's always his beard's tight, his hair is tight. I mean, he looked fresh. He always having on the fresh Jordans. I mean, that's who he is. He's St. Louis finest.
Hey, man, they can't hate on that man because he be up in that word. Hey, and then his interviews inside the NBA, he be sharp as hell up there at the podium, boy.
Right.
That boy be fresh to death. Shout out to that young man.
So
man.
we got Antonio Smith. He got a question, man, because we didn't touch on this. So let him get his question out to us. Here he goes. I just joined the live. Did y'all talk about AD and staying consistent game to game?
You know what? My opinion on that, Antonio Smith, is that it's all about your team making sure you get touches. And the beauty of that Lakers team is LeBron staying off of that ball. He's not turning into a misogynistic man with the ball. He just faking. And I love Bron, but sometimes he take the team out of it, and he going to his thing when he turn it to Bron. You know what I'm saying?
I just want to know, Bob. Do you think it's the coach? Because they had a pretty good team with that last.
It's Darvin Ham.
That's why I said. You think Darvin Ham has got into LeBron's ear and said, "Man, look here, man. I need you off the ball, too, for this thing to work." And I you can see it a little bit, man. Like,
because not Bron a power forward,
and especially the kid Reeves.
Right,
he's nice with that basketball. Right. I didn't know he was a point guard. He was a point guard, so his instincts are, like a point guard, right? So when he gets out there, and I don't know if the Lakers knew that or not, but his instincts is a true point guard. He does a lot of stuff, man. He gets into those gaps and passes out, throw floaters, and get to the rack and finish well around the basket. I like that kid. But AD, he did a great job when we was talking about that Steph Curry when he stepped out on him. He was moving his feet, man. I was watching big fella. I was
saw?
But Steph didn't have him. He slipped a little bit and he
slipped and he was supposed to be gone. We guards, you got a guard mentality.
Yeah.
All you need is that little.
Yeah, I saw it.
You saw it?
That middle, he could have went right down the middle on him.
I sure could have. You saw it.
Yeah.
See, that's why me and Liv do this show, because we think alike. You know what I'm saying? Because he had him just that little hezzy. He could have laid that up. They'd have been up 3. But we can't go back to that. Steph probably want that play back his damn self.
Right.
Because he ended up shooting a 60-footer. Ham calls every play out of a timeout for LeBron. He should be dialing up plays for AD.
Oh man, I love it, man. I love our guests, man. I love our listeners, man, too.
Hey, let me tell you something, man. We can't be hating on Bron. I know it's as many people who don't like him and they like him. You know that? Like, people don't like him, but people like him. For me, it was the same with Kobe Bryant too. Right. What do y'all think of Jokic pushing off for the Suns? Y'all see Isaiah Thomas next? He had no business getting next to Jokic. Like, get the hell.
Now that was funny, man. But did you see the owner flop? Yeah, flop in him, man. I said, "Oh, man."
That was the funniest part about it, man. That was the funniest part about it. He took a big time flop. Yeah, then they gonna find Jokic because they talking about he went in the stands. He went to get the ball, man.
He went to get the ball, man.
Hey, so guess what? I don't know if y'all seen Jokic's brothers at the game, but I don't think they let them come to the NBA games no more. You remember Jokic's 2 big brothers?
No, I didn't see them.
Man, he got 2 big ass brothers, man. The motherfuckers big like him. They his older brothers too.
Wow.
Boy, they was at the game one time ready to whoop some people, man. They had to walk them out the game.
Wow,
Can't be whooping people.
But yeah,
so he come from that cloth, man.
That was funny though. That was funny, man. Watching.
But man, let's talk about Jokic though. While we on Jokic,
all right.
Me and you was talking about him, dude. He might be the most skilled big man I ever seen.
Definitely. If you throw Tim Duncan in, but Tim wasn't shooting threes like him, and Tim wasn't making those behind the back, no look passes and all that. So, no, this is something, man. This is a big that we haven't seen. You know, the way he plays the game, the way he finishes around the basket, the way he basically is the point center, right? So he can bring the ball up the court. You know, he knows how to make the right decisions out there. It's like when you watch him, it's like watching a guard.
Yeah,
do his thing out there on the court. And I don't know if we go back to the old days, and could Olajuwon become a player like this if it was being taught the way it's being taught now? Probably right. So, right? And could Patrick Ewing do this? I don't know, because I'm watching Patrick Ewing, how he was playing. He don't look like he has a lot of that.
No, man, he didn't have that type of,
right.
He had none of that.
But I think Olajuwon could have been that. I just watching him, I think he could have became that. So
you might not like Jokic, but that basket definitely like him. Robert, they was ready to jump on the Morris brothers. Yeah, and they was ready for war. And the Morris brothers will fight anyone. Hey, Hoop Nation, you seen his brothers, man, how big they, man, I said, damn. That boy's no mixed martial artist.
So that's what that was all about. They got into it, and
I knew it was somebody. Yeah, they was playing against him.
Yeah, because somebody else commented on that too. It's like, yeah, it was the brothers, the Morrison brothers, and Jokic's brother was like, man, we gonna be there waiting to see what's gonna happen.
Man, that boy was big as hell. Hey, boy, I remember back in the days, boy, people want to try to act like they want to bully white guys, man. White guys ain't going. I saw footage of this dude get into it with this white dude at the gym, live on social media. This dude knew jujitsu. Brother got into it with it. He swung on him. He and everybody want to break it up now because brother come out there like he finna box him. He throw that punch.
Right.
Oh man. Oh boy, all ball Chicago, boy. You never know when we might go with this.
Right.
But let's talk about inside the NBA. I love Ernie, Shaq, Kenny. I love that whole chemistry and Charles Barkley, man. But sometimes I think that Shaq don't get a chance to be as vocal as he would like to be. I think he always try to kind of have to be third fiddle to the team. What you think?
Well, he was the last one to join the show, of course. That's how, and that's probably how they all.
That's seniority, yeah.
Yeah, that's probably how they all think too. Like, because Ernie already have the script. He'll ask Charles, he'll ask Kenny, and then he'll go to Shaq. What you think. Sometimes if it's something about a big, they'll probably go to Shaq first and let Shaq speak his piece. But most of the time, it's seniority based. It's seniority based. You can see it.
You can see it.
But they all do a good job, man, on the show. I think so. I see it all the time.
Is DeAndre Ayton soft to y'all? I think Ayton will give you 20 points, 15. They can maybe win the series. He like AD, got talent, but not the heart.
Well, I've seen this kid play in high school. Well, in the EYBL on the circuit. But I never seen him dunk. I never seen him post somebody up, bag him down, turn around and dunk on him. I always said he got a nice little mid-range game. He can shoot the jump shot. I said he just back to the basket. He got those jump hooks. He can do those. But I want to see him get nasty. And I don't think he has that nasty mentality. And I think you've got to have a little bit of that nastiness in you to play this game. Right? I'm not saying he has to be like that every time he gets on the court. but he gotta demand something. And I think some of his teammates feel the same way about him. Like, man, you got to be a little bit more nasty out there when you get out there, even on defense. You know, be a little nasty out there, and you'll start seeing the difference. I think he can score, but if they take that jump shot away and that hook shot away, what are you going to do? Are you going to bang and get close to the basket and then pie-yow on somebody, dunk it on somebody, 2 hands, 1 hand? Are you going to do that?
Right.
Have you seen that come out of him yet?
Nah.
That's what I'm saying.
And then he got his hands full.
Yeah.
He got his hands full over there. I also think that the way the league has moved away from the traditional center position leaves Shaq with less to talk about in depth.
No, I don't agree with that.
Nah, me neither. I think that Jokic gives Shaq a lot to talk about. Guys like that who left shoulder, right shoulder, post, turn, boom. Shaq still love that. You know, who's another guy down there that's still resilient down there in the paint?
Well, which is why I say I don't agree with it, because I done seen Shaquille O'Neal in high school. He was dribbling that ball coast to coast like Magic Johnson, throwing look-away passes.
He was a guard.
Yeah, so he knows. I want to say he was a guard, but his coach let him be him.
But he wanted to be Magic Johnson.
Yeah, he would get the ball, go coast to coast, dunk on somebody, look away pass. So he has something to talk about because he knows the game of what it's translated into now. He has a lot to talk about. He knows what the hell he'd be talking about, Shaq, if they give him the opportunity. I think Kenny and Charles just be talking so damn much that he can't get an opportunity.
Right. And then especially Sir Charles. I love Sir Charles, but sometimes he gets stuck. But I love Shaq, though, and I love all them guys. And they got a great show. It's a great show inside the NBA. So where do we go from here, Liv? Well, who's winning the title? Everybody drop what y'all got right now.
This is to all the listeners. This is all the listeners out there who chimed in. Who do you guys think will win the NBA championship and why? I want to know why you picked that team.
Yeah.
Go ahead and drop it now, and then we'll put the comment up, and then we'll discuss it.
Yeah, man. Who's gonna win the title, man? Who the MVP? Joel Embiid already. And who was the defensive player of the year? Big fella in Memphis.
Yeah, Jared Jackson.
Yeah, man.
Somebody here we go. One of our listeners says Miami.
They're resilient. Let me pull them up. Let me see who said that. See if I can get a gauge on who said that. Miami. Oh, Glover Love. Glover Love, what's up, boy? Now I can see the comments. So, and Mike Kelly also said Denver and Joker, they got the chemistry.
Right, I just saw that one pop up.
Yeah. Shaq Jones, Patrick Ewing, Elijah Wan Morning, make Shaq. Yeah. Those were classic centers, though, man. If I was building a team today, I'd go get me one of them young boys, man, that's big like that. Just tell them, just pound the paint. Right. Because the most efficient players in the league still use the mid-range game.
Right.
Wembanyama will be a perennial MVP, barring injury.
That's the young fella, right, out of France.
Coming in the league, right?
I thought he said he wasn't going to come out this year. Is he going to come to the league this year? Oh, maybe I have to look up and look more into that, because I thought he would. I thought he said he wasn't going to come out this year.
What you think about Bronny James, man? His choice of going to USC.
Bronny James did commit, didn't he?
To
USC and not UCLA. You would think he would have probably did UCLA over USC by just watching the tournament. But I don't know if my man Bailey, is he coming back?
He definitely got to come back.
Why you say that?
I don't know. I would think I would do 2 years. Well, you know what?
That's what I'm saying.
If the NBA telling them to come, you go.
That's what I'm saying. You don't know, man, what's going on behind closed doors. I done seen people average 6 points in college and be a lottery pick. So it's crazy.
If they want you to go, shorty, go get it.
Man. Yeah, man.
Because he a hot item. He hot. Can y'all take constructive criticism? And this is nothing but love. I feel both of y'all could promote y'all show a little more than y'all do. Feel me? Robert Reed, you got so many followers. Maybe every few days, post a link to your YouTube and All Ball Chicago page and ask them to subscribe to both so y'all can get followers up. The more y'all post to people for people to subscribe, the better. But it's all love. Man, we appreciate that, man. We appreciate that, man. No question. Right. Liv got more followers than me. It's, you know what, man, you know, All Ball Chicago, man, it's like one of those things, man. We and Liv enjoy doing it. I don't know that we doing it for that reason, to try to promote it and all that, because we got it on every streaming network, right, Liv? So I don't know.
Right. I guess he's just why he said he chose to go to USC instead of UCLA.
Oh, Mark Brown. What's up, Mark Brown? I know he down there. Traffic is terrible going to Westwood. That's why he chose USC closer to his home. That makes sense.
Right.
Wow. Right. Yeah, California is big as hell. Man. Mm-hmm. What else we got? Any other comments we got?
No,
I like that though. I like
Miss Jones. Jones still said that makes sense. Yeah, it makes sense. We'll start. I think both of us, once we get off this show, we going to do our other stuff, you know. So, yeah, and we was just doing this before. That's just out of love, you know. And now I think it is growing more and more. So yeah, we're gonna start looking at the next thing, which is to promote it, get it out there more, and do more with it. So yeah, definitely. And it's just me and him doing it, you know. It's just me and him doing it. We don't have nobody editing videos or doing none of that. We the only one that's doing this, and we don't have nobody managing the page. It's us doing it, you know. So we will take that to heart, and we will definitely try to promote our show, All Ball Chicago, a little bit more, because we did have some special guests on here, man. I mean, we had, you know, the great legendary Rick Barry on here, you know, and Derek Coleman, to just name a few, you know, that was on our show. And a lot of people can't say they can get those type of players, you know, people.
You know, and podcasting is tricky, because if you think about it, like when we first started in 2020 during the COVID, bro, it wasn't nothing to have 300-400 people watching it at the same time, because they was captivated. They couldn't go nowhere, and all they had was All Ball Chicago, baby.
Right.
But then as the weather changed and people could go outside, you know, people still dwindle down. But I tell you what, man, one thing about it is, man, we get a new listener every time, man. And for that, when I go places, people be like, man, you know what, man, I like the show. Especially when I'm going basketball circles in Chicago on the South Side. People just want to talk basketball. And man, Marcus Liberty, man, Marcus Liberty, man, Marcus Liberty. They just want to talk. And I be like, oh, yeah, you ain't lying. So it's all love. Heat versus Lakers in the finals. Lakers win in 6. Lakers too big and nobody can beat LA if AD plays like a monster. Bron will be great regardless. So my Lakers' destiny is in AD's hands. Lakers' best team left in the playoffs. Mark Brown, you down there? Where you at? Brief down there in California. I forget where you at. I know you down in the Bay Area. Where you at, man? So I know you being biased. Hey, Tanya Boo Evans. I never speak, but Robert Reed, your son, was so handsome at his prime. How proud of a father was you? And isn't the prime these days a different level than when you came up? Hell yeah, man. I went out there, man. He went on prom, man. They had it all set up fancy outside. They came out there, music. Man, it was like a movie video. I was hyped. I felt like, oh, people out there with cameras. I was like, when I went to prom, a couple people on the block, take a couple pictures. Bye.
No, it's a show now, man. It's a show.
Oh, man. It's a show, man.
It's a show now, man.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get George Gervin on, man. I told you that's the one person I really want to get on the show. So I'm gonna keep going until I get George
Gervin, man. George Gervin, man, the greatest man. He taught you how to finger roll.
Man, no, my dad taught me how to finger roll, but I watched his finger roll, and his finger roll was a little different than mine because he had big hands. I don't have big hands to
You
do
couldn't
that.
palm the ball.
I couldn't palm that ball. So you notice mine was flick. I
Right.
flicked it. I flicked it up like that. But yeah, man, that was what is this? What's he saying? And a lot of people share y'all show, even if you don't know. I heard about it from Hoop Baller Scoop, sharing y'all interviews. Yes, thanks. Yep. Hoop Baller Scoop is definitely uh, a good person because a hater would never do that. Somebody that's hating and saying, "Oh man, I don't care about them dudes," whoop de whoop. But no, Hoop Baller Scoop shows us love every time. So shout out to Hoop Baller Scoop, and you too, Tanya, for sharing it as well. So yeah, we appreciate that.
Yeah, man.
Who was Bob? I wanted to ask you a question, right? I want to ask you a question. Who was the best little guard that you ever seen in college or in the pros? Who was that? Who was that?
Yeah, I say Isaiah Thomas.
Isaiah Thomas.
Because I met Isaiah Thomas in person.
How tall is Isaiah?
Man, no disrespect, Isaiah. Isaiah probably about 5'10".
5'10".
5'10", maybe 6 feet at best. I stood right next to him. I'm taller than Isaiah Thomas, man. This was recent. We were grown. This was 2 years ago. Motherfuckers is excuse my language. Ain't nobody else growing no more around here. We both 50, he's 60. But that just goes to show you how size has nothing to do with it, because he is, to my opinion, Chicago's greatest point guard ever. In my opinion. I saw him growing up, and I could not believe how he dominated the guard position. You saw the same thing.
Right.
Who you taking?
No, I mean, I when I was growing up, I watched Nate Tiny Archibald. I used to like watching him. So he would be one of my favorites. I got a bunch
with
of
the Celtics.
Yeah, I got a bunch of them.
He was tough.
I like watching him. Of course, Isaiah. I like watching him.
I like Calvin Murphy though.
Calvin Murphy, no, not and John Lucas was bad.
John Lucas was tough.
See, a lot of people don't know John Lucas in college was an All-American in tennis and in basketball.
I did not.
An All-American, I did
not know that.
And John Lucas is doing a lot of great things in Houston, giving back, and got his, John Lucas youth.
Man, let's go into detail about John Lucas. What people don't understand is he had a drug problem.
Yeah, and he talks about it.
Yeah, he got a story, man. He got himself together, man, and started doing those camps. And
so I got a kid that went to one of his camps, and the kid just came back, and he was telling me, he said, "Man, Coach Lucas, man, he's for real. Like, he tells his story for real." He said, "I don't go half-ass at nothing. When I was a drug addict, I was going all in."
Right.
He was like, man, so I was going all in on whatever I was doing, I'm gonna go all in, and now he said he doesn't do it. So he's like, kids don't do drugs,
right.
But if you're gonna do something, his point was, if you're gonna do something, give it your all. If it's something you truly want to do and something you truly believe in, give it your all. And I think what we see a lot of times is people want it, but they don't want to work to get it. And it's a difference. When I want something, you have to work for it. It just don't happen overnight. And that's what I tell my kids too, who I train, that you gotta put that work in.
And you will have nothing in this life without a little work. Nothing comes easy out here. And people think, oh, he's an overnight sensation. There's no such thing as that.
Right.
And
Kevin, one of our listeners said Allen Iverson, of course, because we was talking about the small guards. KJ, Kevin Johnson. Those were definitely great guards, man, watching coming up. Who was one of the prolific scorers in the 80s?
When I saw Mark McGuire, man, we just gonna talk about just from growing up. I had to always go with Chicago because we didn't have nothing to gauge. All I saw was Chicago basketball. We had cable, we had Channel 9, and all I saw was the DePaul Blue Demons and Chicago Pro-Ams and Chicago Summer Leagues. and the Bulls, right?
Right. No.
So Mark Aguirre was the most prolific scorer that I seen within that round.
Right. So you got a chance to see other players though, watching them on TV. Like Bernard King was a prolific scorer to me.
Once we got cable, and you got a chance to see that.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Once I got an opportunity to see that, that's what I'm talking about. Like,
right.
He was a bad man. That's why I wore number 30. Because of him, watching him play and give people the business. I was like, damn.
Yeah. It wasn't enough for him to jump.
And he made it look easy.
Yeah.
He made it look easy. And I think that's why my release is up high. I shoot kind of high. My shots was hard to get blocked because I shot it high and I was 6'8" already. So
man, y'all go to Liv's page, man. Go to Liv's YouTube page. It's on All Ball Chicago. And hit the video and go watch his highlight reel. Man, I was like, I said, this boy was a bad man. You was a bad motherfucker, G. I just had to tell you that again, G. I didn't even know you had all that. You jumping in the air like Magic Johnson, throw a pass. And I'm like, at 6'8", man, nobody was doing that back then. You were before your time, man, like LeBron. Like LeBron, you were Chicago's LeBron James, bro.
Right.
That's for real, man.
Right.
But hold on, what else we got? Yo, I have to ask, what was y'all reaction when Scott Williams said that about Allen Iverson playing with him? We look at him as a Hall of Famer, but he said Iverson can't believe them too. I
don't think you finished the sentence on that, but. I mean, everybody has their opinions about people, man. So I don't get caught up in that. Scott said what he had to say. That's what he believed that. But I don't know Allen Iverson. We all looked at him from afar. Most of us that didn't know him personally. So I don't know. What he was in the locker room, and was he all about self? And it looked like the little man wanted to win. And he was doing whatever it takes to win. That's what it looked like to me. But if you played with him, maybe you have different opinions about him. I can't speak on that. I know I played against a guy by the name of Michael Adams, and I thought that boy shot the ball every time. And he was the PG.
He did.
Yeah, he was the PG. He jacked that ball up, man. And everybody knew Mike Adams was going to go right. And Mike Adams said, "Live. They can't stop me, so I'm gonna keep going right."
Man, how tall was he?
He was little too. He was a short guard too, man. And but I actually like Michael Adams. He's a cool dude.
Yeah, man. Those legends, man. Those guys are just legends.
Right. Somebody had something up here I wanted to put up there. Okay, here it go.
Randall McFarland. I just found out St. Joe's former point guard standout Doug Copeland in 1974 is the father of iconic ballet dancer Misty Copeland. All the legendary ballers from Maywood say he was one of the best from the area. Wow. That's
dope.
Good
that's good. Yeah, that's good info right there. Good info.
Yeah, good stuff, Randall.
Randall, that's my guy, Randall. Bro. Randall was a baller too, boy. Was that DuPage County College? DuPage College
of DuPage?
Yeah, man. Randall and my boy Mike Burks. Them brothers was winning games, doing their thing, man. And I think they had a chance to play against PJ Bowman. And I think Randall always talks about that when I see him, man. Man, I was better than PJ, man. I could shoot that thing just like him and do all that. But, sometimes it's just the luck of the draw, man. Go where you fit. Man. Go where you fit in.
Right? You got to, man. You got to, man.
Andrew Toney was definitely a scorer.
Oh,
College
man.
of DuPage. There you go. College of DuPage.
Andrew Toney is the NBA all-time greatest ball stopper. What you say? What'd you say? Andrew Toney is the NBA all-time greatest ball stopper.
Right.
Because when he got it, he was holding that mug, wasn't he, man?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I used to see him, man, when he shot that ball. It was like this.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa, man. That's a funny looking shot, but it goes in. It goes in.
It was Cotton Fitzsimmons.
Man. So we gotta look up who we gonna get next to come on. I know I keep saying my man. I gotta get my man World Be Free. Ooh.
Man,
I haven't heard that name in a while.
And World Be Free is the all-time greatest ball hog. I love World Be Free. But he used to shoot the ball every time, didn't he, Liv?
World Be Free, baby.
Everybody wanted to say that in the streets when we was growing up as a kid. Like, man, World Be Free. He had the coldest name.
Man, there was some bad cats, though, man, came out of the NBA back in the day, man, that people don't really talk about. Oh, man, yeah, if we can get Kevin Porter on, that would be great, man, because I heard some stories about him, too. You remember when we first got on, somebody was telling us, man, we need to get KP on, Kevin Porter on. Yeah. So if we can find a way to get in contact with him. Lloyd Bates, oh, that's a good one. Lloyd Daniels, definitely. Lloyd Bats, Lloyd Bats, that's a good one. Lloyd Daniels, that's a good one, man. If we can get those two. I don't know if Lloyd Daniels do any podcasts, but because I haven't seen one yet. But I definitely would try to reach out to my brother because I got some contact information on him. Oh, this for you, Rob.
Robert Reed, do you ever pinch yourself that your friends? Hold on. Robert Reed, do you ever pinch yourself that you friends with the legend Mark Aguirre? When did y'all become cool? It's got to be cool. Someone you love growing up, your boy, and Mark is cool with Mark too. Yeah, you know what, man? To be totally honest, man. Honestly, man, Marcus and Mark Aguirre, both of them. But more so Mark, because me and Marcus around the same age, but Mark Aguirre, we all grew up watching, you know. And it just so happened, like I say, my son went to school with him, with his nephew at an elementary school out in the suburbs, and Mark would be at the games, and that's when I had a chance to meet him. And then over the course of the years, I got out of that goofy stuff because I realized he coming to watch the game. I'm not finna be all in his face and all that. So I just recently, as of late, now over the last couple of years, me and Mark, you know, he opened up a little more because you got to realize a lot of people come at guys like yourself, Mark, is asking you for shit. Man, you got some money, man. You come out. So
that's what you did to Mark.
That's the first thing I ain't gonna do, man, because I just realized that people automatically think that y'all are bank tellers.
Right. You know what like really trips me out when people like they try to make you somebody that you're not, right? Make you think you're bigger than them. And I'm like, no, I'm not different from you, man. Like when people are like, man, I don't want to come over there and bother you. What you mean? You're not bothering me, you know?
Right.
I want to be treated just like everybody else. And I know it's hard for some people to say, let's separate that. And no, man, shoot. I played the game of basketball, sure. But that doesn't make me no better than the next person.
Right.
You know? And that's how I always looked at it.
Right. And you know what, man? And looking at it that way, you always eat off of it because you're not depending on it to eat off of it. It's feeding on you because of what you're putting out. Yeah, Reggie played with us our freshman year. He was on a 4-game trade streak and was the top shooter in the conference for a moment. That's when he had that Gucci emblem cut into his hair and was wearing riding boots. Wow. Myron Starks will always come see him play. Oh,
wow, that's crazy, right?
Myron Starks, one of the twins, the streets, man, was all legendary, man. I mean, basketball in Chicago and abroad is just legendary. And these stories, man, come on, man.
Right.
I learned something new. I'm telling you. I didn't know so much about Chicago basketball until I started doing this show, man.
Right.
Like you had Sweet Charlie Brown on here.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot about him, man. Rest in peace to Man, sweet Charlie.
He was a part of that DuSable team that got cheated, right?
Yes. And remember, he told a story about Indiana when he went to Indiana and played with Indiana, and then he had to get up out of there, because of what was going on in the '60s, man, back then. Like, man,
wow.
So he got up out of there. But man, that was a good one, man. I try to find that show. I can't find the second part. We got the first part, but I can't find the second part, man, because he was dropping some straight jewels on us.
But we went live though, right?
Yeah, no, I think we recorded it on when we was doing it through the other network, Zoom, and I deleted all that stuff because I'm not on Zoom no more. Right. Great show, fellas, guys. Some of my co-workers watching, they say, reach out to Cheryl Swoops, Yolanda Griffin, or Reggie Theus. Okay, all right. Yo is from Chicago, so we can try to get her, definitely. Cheryl Swoops used to coach at Loyola. I don't know if she's still in Chicago area or not. But yeah, we definitely could try to reach Reggie Theus. I don't know. Reggie Theus might be, because he's, the AD and coach at
Bethune-Cookman, right?
Yeah, so it's gonna probably be hard to get him, but we'll try.
Somebody said Hershey Hawkins.
Man, Hershey Hawkins, we don't talk about him a lot either when we talk about Chicago.
Oh,
I think he led the Chicago public school in scoring one year.
Man, he could shoot, couldn't he?
Man, and he played inside in high school.
Wow.
Knowing he was a guard, but he played inside because they didn't have any bigs back then when he was playing at Westinghouse. But yeah, he could flat out shoot the rock.
Yeah, man, I saw a video or something circulating with him just going back to his alma mater, Bradley, after so many years, about 4 years ago, right?
Yeah. Ron, you're right. He did lead the nation in scoring, and I think the point guard was Anthony Manuel, and I think he led the nation in assists that year. So I think they have two of the top leaders in each category, in those two categories, Anthony Manuel and Hershey Hawkins. Yeah, another guy. That's you right, man. That's why I like my man Ron. Man, he be dropping it, man. Another guy we should definitely try to get on is Mr. Martin. He was at one time, I know he was doing some things at UPS, like over their community service or something like that. But yeah, good dude, man, good brother. I used to talk to him on the phone all the time. So yeah, we definitely try to reach out to him too to get him on.
Yeah, that's right. Wow, that's so much legendary stuff, man.
Look, listen to this one, Bob. Oh man.
Yeah, I feel you, man. I'm older than Reggie. I had the Gucci emblem first. I still got the tat on my wrist, but it became signature where I'm from. Central Madison, Columbus Park. West Side.
The Golden Dome, baby. Hey, it's people used to get those emblems in their hair, man. The Nike swooshes and all type of stuff in their head. I remember I had the Gumby cut, dude.
You had to do it, man.
I had the Gumby cut, and then I had the little designs on the side. It was crazy.
Oh, he said the guy, the founder of the YBI, Sidney Smith, Bo Rab. You see Bo Rab's comment?
Yeah, I got to call him, right.
Sidney Smith is waiting on your call.
I got you.
And my guy them from Mendel, man, Soterio Harris and all them guys, Don Johnson, them, they the ones that went downstate and wanted. They want to come on, man. They be asking, Bob, man, we y'all go get some Catholic League on here. We love Mendel, we love Brother Rice, we love St. Rita, all of those guys. If any of those guys around, let's get y'all group on here. Let's do the team summit again. Let's do the team summit.
Yeah, man. Mendel, I mean, I remember watching that game when they went down there with Banks.
Right.
Yeah,
Mike Hampton and all them guys, right?
Man. Yeah, that was. And then some people say they want to get my nephew. They want to get Javon on. So I'm gonna get Javon on, man.
Yeah, man.
All right, we're gonna get up out of here. There's one more.
Marcus, you always been humble down to earth. I love hearing you guys' story. Robert Reed, you're funny as hell. I love the show. You guys do really great down to earth interviews. You let your guests beat themselves. Keep up the good work. Gary Scott, man, appreciate that, man. Appreciate that, man.
Yeah.
Most definitely, man.
I want to see if Bob, when was the last time you did this?
Whoa. When I messed my finger up. You see my finger right here? That was probably about 4 months ago, about 5 months ago.
Wow, so you were still going up and down the court?
I played that one day. Played full court with Kobe and them on a Saturday. And I went and messed my finger up. Look, that mug can never be straight again. I played all these years and ain't hurt nothing, really.
Wow.
I broke this finger.
Man, it had to be 6 years for me. Like, I haven't been up and down the court like in the actual game in like 6 years, dude. Because I'm not trying to do that no more, man. I'm all about giving back now.
Right.
Do I stay in shape? Yeah, I still stay in shape by doing my conditioning and running and all that. But as far as me playing competitively up and down the court, you know, that's over. I'm done with that for sure.
Yeah, I agree. I retired after that too. But I was in there shooting around with him the other day, you know, and just a little varsity. And I don't get a chance to get in there, but when I do get in there, man, I be like, man, I miss this, you know, because you know we lived out there playing ball. Man, I thought I'd play forever.
Right. Who is this Bob right here? Who is this?
Hold on, let me go find and see who that is. Glover Love.
Okay.
Hells Franciscan right here. I played in the Catholic League for 3 years. Mendelewan stayed in my era. I was a sophomore at Hells. Man, that's love right there, Glover Love. Man, we want to get some Catholic League guys on from the old days, back in the days, because that's what we do, man. This is a chop it up breakfast club type show. Not like the Breakfast Club per se, but this is lunchtime.
I said, man, don't be dropping that name, man. We ain't promoting them, man. No, we ain't promoting them. Yeah,
this is your lunchtime edition.
Pooh said, I don't even do 21 no more. And I used to love that when I was a shorty, but no, I don't do the 21, man. I try to tell my younger kids, some of them never heard of it. You know, I'm like, man, y'all should play 21. They're like, what's that, coach?
It's a varsity. It's a varsity.
Yeah, they don't want to play it, though. They don't want to play it, man.
Man, you ain't cold until you want a varsity with 15 people in it.
Man, shoot. In my generation, man, like, in the hood, on the low level, man, shit, it would be 25 of us out there.
Yeah, man.
25, and you got to maneuver and get through all of them. You know, back then we were trying to get to the rack.
Yeah.
You know.
Hey, boy, and then till somebody say, "Come on, man, let's shoot for a game, man."
Right. And the only reason why people used to go to the rack a lot because they wanted to get that rebound again. Right. So if I miss, I can get that rebound real quick and go right back up.
Right.
But man, now, man, that was something. Man, that was something.
Man, but the toughest challenges playing ball was always the one-on-one. When we go get out of here, this is just some stuff that people don't talk about either. The one-on-one pickup ball game where you got to play against a dude, he's supposed to be tough. And the doggone 3-on-3 when you're playing in the 3-on-3. That's a tough one too, because now you're so dependent on picking, screening, rolling. And I think that's what the NBA team probably coached, how they coach the game with 3-on-3s, because that's what that is.
Yeah. We already had Reggie Brown on. See, Randall, I thought you was following us, bro.
Yeah, we had him on early.
Yeah, we had, and it was a good show. Reggie came on. It was a good show.
It's up on YouTube. You can go back and check it out.
Yeah, definitely, man. Let's give shouts out, man. Shout out to man. We can get up out of here.
Man, we had Glover Love. Thanks, man. Randall McFarland, Mike Kelly. Also, Demetrius was on early on, but we had just started out. Kevin Haywood, Bo Rab. Man, shout out to y'all. Who else we got? All the ladies that's on YouTube and the guys on YouTube that's chiming in, man. Appreciate y'all.
Right, definitely. No, Hoop Baller Scoop, man. It's my man Chucky Vision got a lot of videos of me, and he's basically, man, gonna do a documentary. So that's why most of the videos are probably not out of me playing in high school. I used to have a box full of them, man, on the VHS, but somehow I can't find them no more. And I don't know where they at, man. But definitely, man, when I find them, I'm gonna post them so we can get out there, man. Because a lot of people, you're right, haven't seen me get down between those lines. You dig?
Man, it'd be nice if you could have put that video up while we was on so people could have seen that, man. If you set that up next week some kind of way.
Yeah, but that's not really a good video either. I want a good.
Oh, you want something with a good, better clarity?
Yeah, man. So people can really see, man. Because these youngins out here, man, they were like, man, coach, you ain't play no ball. I'm like, yeah, all right. All right. But yeah, man, I appreciate everyone. We appreciate everyone for tuning in. This was our playoff edition, talking about the playoffs. I did get a chance to get Scott Williams' book, Through the Fire. Make sure y'all go get that. Go cop it, man. It's a great read. And he's talking about the phone conversation he got when Dean Smith, his college coach, knocked on the door and told him that his father had just murdered his mom and then turned the gun on himself. Go get that book, read it. And man, we'll talk more about it. Because I think it needs to be talked about, because abusive relationships are out there, is in full effect, but people don't talk about it. So we need to start talking more about it.
Yeah, man. And you know what? This month is, if I'm not mistaken, this is Mental Health Month. And I just know that people, man, sometimes I want to say this because somebody was called me the other day to have some stuff on their mind. And I just want to say this, man, you're not the only person that's going through it, and if you think you are, give somebody a call. We all go through things.
Right.
Nothing's easy. We make it look easy on social media. But if you had to just come into my real life that's outside of that, man, you'd be like, man, ain't no way in hell I want to do this, because it's a constant grind to try to be able to sustain and be able to take care of your family. So don't think you're in it by yourself, man. We all going through this, man. We're going through this thing called life, man. And just keep your head up high, man, and keep going.
No doubt.
That's what I got, man.
No doubt.
I'm finna go make me some tacos.
Go get you. Is it Taco Tuesday?
It's Taco Wednesday, baby.
That was yesterday, dude.
Yo, man, I ain't getting there yesterday. I guess other day I got my meat already thawed out.
Oh, you're gonna make your own stuff, okay?
Yeah.
Well, murder she wrote. Murder she wrote. You about to murder yourself. Boy, though he can't cook. And what's before we get out, man? Have you heard a shorty say this to you, man? Like, I know you say you don't eat hot dogs, right? A glizzy.
You told me that. That's what they call the hot dog.
I said, what are you talking about, man? It's a hot dog. He said, no, Joe, that's a glizzy. So I'm gonna leave with that glizzy, man. I'm out of here, man.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank y'all for watching. Chicago, Chi-Town, Chicago.